Hi brother, welcome to this new YouTube video. I have to be honest with you because I was, thinking that I should give you, um, a little bit more of my story. And with that, I mean, I have to share with you the top mistakes I used to, I used to do, probably a year ago or 6 months ago. In fact, in this YouTube video, I'm gonna, reveal you the top 5 things that are destroying your health. And probably, bro, if you do these 5 things, your health is shit. So, bro, as I always say, take a piece of paper, take a pen, take some notes, and I can guarantee you that if you copy and implement everything I say in this YouTube video and, bro, in other YouTube videos I made, I can guarantee you that in the next 60 days or even 30 days, if you 100% commit to the process, you will lose at least 10 pounds of fat, and you will pack tons of muscle, and you will have more energies throughout the day. You won't have brain fog again. You will raise your testosterone. You will feel like a productive machine every day, and you will change your physique too. So, bro, again, take a piece of paper, take some notes, and copy what I just say. So, guys, welcome in this new YouTube video. So, right now, as I said before, I'm gonna reveal you, I think, one of the most important thing when it comes to, maximize your performances, your health, your testosterone, and your overall, daily energies. As I said before, take a piece of paper, take a pen, take some notes, and if you, follow everything I say right now and everything I say in the video, I made before, I can guarantee you that you will 100% lose about, you know, 10 pounds of fat and will put tons of muscle in a matter of months. I think 30 to 60 days, if you commit 100% what I'm about to tell you, is the bare minimum. So, bro, focus on the video and take some notes right now. I'm gonna shut out my phone, so I'm 100% focused right now. So I'm gonna start, I think, with one of the most common things when it comes to, lifestyle, have more energies and have higher testosterone. That I think it's diet. But I'm gonna, talk about one of the, I think, important macronutrients when it comes to, your diet, and these are fats. So, bro, fats, all right, okay, all right. Fats are one of the most important macronutrients because fats, especially saturated fats and cholesterol, are the building blocks of testosterone in male. So, if you are probably below 100 grams of fats per day, and if you don't hit at least 1 to 2 grams of cholesterol per day, you're missing out a lot of, testosterone energies, performances, and, muscle growth. Then I think that fats are also important because, vitamins like vitamin A, D, E, and K are fat soluble vitamins. So you need fat to absorb these, vitamins. And the third thing, fat, especially, animal fats, saturated fats, are important for the membrane of your cell, because the membrane of your cell is mainly made up by fat, and you need, to eat animal fats, to take care of your cell's membrane. So I mentioned, vitamin A, D, E, and K, and why are they so important? First of all, we can start with vitamin A. You can take this vitamin mainly, talking about, animal sources. Of course, you can take it also from fruit, but I'm about, to speak only about, animal sources. So, vitamin A, you can take it from liver and eggs, and it's important for your immune system, cells, and bones. So if you want strong bones, if you want a strong immune system, start implementing vitamin A daily. Then vitamin D. So there are lots of sources of vitamin D, but I think that the best sources, first of all, is sun. Bro, you have to at least, do at least 30 minutes of sun exposure every day, if you of course can, if the weather, let you do sun exposure, of course, from butter and the egg yolk. Vitamin D, especially vitamin D3, is protest, so it's literally an hormone itself, but it's also important for bones and immune system. Vitamin K from butter, and it's extremely important for blood clotting and calcium transport. So again, if you want strong bones, you have to eat butter daily because it provides a lot of vitamin K. You can, take vitamin K also from kiwis. And then we got vitamin E, so from egg yolks and butter. Vitamin E is an important, antioxidant for your overall health. Then we have talked about fat. So one thing I can, tell you is that you have to reach at least 100 grams of fat every day, and then you'll feel much better. I can guarantee you that. Um, then, bro, I think one of the most important things when it comes to health is muscle growth. Bro, you actually have to realize that if you don't have muscle tissue, you will be more inflamed, than a guy who got, more muscle tissue than you. Because, bro, uh, inflammation, so chronic inflammation in your body, leads to metabolic diseases and reduced, of course, lifespan and low testosterone. So, inflammation brings low testosterone. And of course, adipose tissue brings inflammatory adipokines, and muscle tissue brings anti-inflammatory mucins. So, if you want to be, low inflamed, if you want to have high testosterone, you must have more muscle tissue than the adipose tissue. Of course, the adipose tissue is important for hormones, but if you are, you know, on a range to like from 10 to 15% of fats, that's good. Here, I posted this, study, sedentary time and markers of chronic low-grade inflammation in high-risk population. And this study shows that, of course, having muscle, more muscle than adipose tissue is important for your health. Then, bro, we got I think, something, more important than, muscle tissue, and this is the gut health. You have to realize that your gut is your best friend. You have to take care of your gut daily, and you must have a healthy gut, to live, better, not be depressed every day, and have more, nutrient absorption. But bro, we can go more, deeper in it. Poor gut health, so that dysbiosis brings endotoxins in blood. So if you got leaky gut, it's more likely that the endotoxins are in your blood, and endotoxin in blood brings to immune activation. So the inflammatory cytokines like TNF alpha and EL6, these are two inflammatory cytokines, and these two, inflammatory cytokines brings to muscle breakdown. And then dysbiosis again brings to lower short chain fatty acids, and again lower short chain fatty acids brings to lower sodium glucose linked transporter 1. This is a protein that actually transport, the glycogen inside your muscle tissue. And you have to understand that if you have less glycogen in your muscle tissue, you won't be strong enough and you will have less endurance. And also, poor gut health brings less nutrients absorption. So if you have leaky gut, you will absorb at least 50% less nutrient, and we don't want that. Then we got the processed food. Processed food, I think it's one of the worst thing you can go for in your life. Bro, if you just stick to a whole food diet, animal-based diet for at least 30 days, I can guarantee you that your life will change like 100%. Cuz processed food, bro, are designed to be hyper palatable. So they will bring, override hunger signals to your brain, and you will be more hungrier, and you won't lose fat. So you will remain a fat ass anyway. Of course, processed food don't have, fibers, which of course are contained in, fruit and, for example, sweet potatoes. So they will bring more spike insulin, and then of course dopamine. So you will be, more addicted to processed food. You will eat more processed food, and you won't lose fat. As I said before, processed food promote fat gain and inflammation. So poor metabolic health, disrupt gut microbiota. So less short chain fatty acids, as I said before. So worse digestion, and of course immunity. And then, of course, you will absorb less micronutrients, and you will have poor recovery and hormone imbalance. So, if you really want to, level up your health, you have to cut out processed foods at least for 30 days, eat a whole food diet or animal based diet, and you will be fine. 100%. Then we have the main thing that you have to, take care of in your life, which is cortisol. Bro, you have to understand that chronic stress and high cortisol is actually the main cause of your low testosterone and low muscle mass. Because, bro, you have to understand that cortisol is the molecule that actually make you, wake up in the morning. So if you are stressed chronically, you will have low testosterone. In fact, cortisol disrupts sleep and recovery. So during sleep, of course, you know that during the REM phase, you will produce the majority of growth hormone and testosterone. So if you have disrupted sleep and a recovery due to high cortisol, you won't produce high GF1, HGH, and testosterone during your sleep. Also, chronic stress and high cortisol promotes fat storage, especially the visceral fat. So, if you can lose your belly fat, is mainly caused by an, uh, you know, uh, calorie surplus, but is also caused by high cortisol and low testosterone. And of course, you have to understand that high cortisol alters the gut-brain axis. You have to understand that your gut is linked to your brain and brought by the, of course, gut brain axis. And if you have poor gut health, if you have chronic stress, you will be more likely to be, depressed and, sad every day. So, you know if you can, actually in the next 30 days, if you can, first of all, implement more animal fats in your diet. So at least 100 grams of fat, at least 1 to 2 grams of cholesterol. Eggs, beef are the main sources of cholesterol and micronutrients in your diet. You will be more likely to, absorb these vitamins. If you do more sun exposure daily, if you start going to the gym and, build muscle, if you start taking care of your gut health by implementing what I say in the other videos and in this video, if you cut out all processed food, and if you, maintain your cortisol low by, first of all, training, but you don't have to overtrain. Second thing, walk more. Third, cut out all blue light before bed. I can guarantee you that you will feel so much better in the next 30 to 60 days. So implement the things and let me know in the comments, the effects of this.